Yes, y'all. Welcome in to episode 109 of the Dumb Marks Podcast. I am Jake from the Dumb Marks Pod, and like a good neighbor, we are here each and every Saturday morning. Your favorite Saturday brunch bunch back at it again. Gentlemen, happy Halloween. How we feeling? Everybody
Happy
good?
Halloween.
I'm doing good. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, nice. I was debating on whether or not everybody was gonna pick up on the "Hey, let's get dressed up for Halloween" text that was sent over in the group chat. I'm glad to see everybody showed up. What up, Nate? What up?
Going on?
So,
Go on, Kenny.
Kenny.
Said it just like brother.
Tremendous.
That figure behind me was a shock to my life when I got it.
We got it there in the background. I love it. I'm glad to see you decided to go as your all-time favorite wrestler today, Donald.
Always. I will fight for him.
Jay, whose Letterman jacket did you steal before you came on the show today?
Take your guesses, Chris. Who did you say?
I said Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf and Zach Morris.
Zach Morris.
I was gonna go AC Slater.
This is a Thriller jacket, man.
The Thriller jacket. Okay.
When he said I'm not like other guys, yeah.
Nice. I told him. He thought that you just said it to him. I was like, nope, I won that.
I had the cheap cosplay too.
Oh, there you go.
There's the red pants. Nice.
Those the Shinsuke Nakamura pants? No words today.
That was the Subaru.
Yeah,
up in Zelienople.
So Donald, the resident Halloween expert on this show, traveled up to Butler.
Hey, look, when you said I'm not like other guys and went straight zombie, that was his transition, man. I'm over this black shit. I'm light skin for life now.
Yeah, so Donald, you traveled up to Butler County there, and won a Halloween competition or horror movie competition.
Yeah, horror 80s horror movie trivia.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Nice. Well, gentlemen, how we everybody good? We living today. Everybody's great. Beautiful day out. Halloween weekend. If you got kids at home, I'm sure they are chomping at the bit to go out and do their trick-or-treating on Monday night. Whatever festivities they had going on during the week at school. I know there was a big long week at my daughter's school. They had their Halloween dance on Thursday night. So I got stuck shelling out for 2 costumes this year, one for the Halloween dance and one for
One day a year he sides with Hogan Ty. One day a year.
So so I got stuck shelling out for 2 costumes this year, one for the Halloween dance and then one for trick-or-treating. Can't wear the same costume twice. So
why?
Listen,
this new era, boy.
The young the young teenage girls, they change outfits like they're on the runway. So you got to have more than one costume in the bag, I guess.
Gotta sit her down. Just be like, listen.
When you did the parade in school, grade school, then you went out a couple of days later, same exact
costume. Yeah.
Had a bowling party for bowling on Saturday morning. Had to wear the costume there.
Yeah. The school parade was the dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you had the school parade. Then you had I know growing up in the town, we had the school parade, and then you had the little neighborhood parade, walk through the streets. And then you had your trick or treating, and that was the same costume all 3 times. So that karate gi that I wore whenever I did karate and became an orange belt and then quit, that was the costume for all 3 of those events.
The only difference with it is what accessory you had, because school might be 70 degrees, and then by the time trick or treating came around, it might have been like 20 degrees, and you had to wear the jacket underneath it and get all puffy and everything.
No doubt. So. All right, so we were in the trick or treat edition of the Dumb Marks podcast today. So we'll be Q&Aing up some tricks and treats, getting to some debates, and hopefully have a good interactive show with y'all. Yeah.
What he does on his own time, Ty. What he does on his own time.
1-800 Hot Lips. It is what it is. Ty,
that actually works. So
I got bills to pay.
New commercials going USA Up All Night.
After silk stockings.
Yeah.
It's Halloween, man. We all had to be here.
Yep, we're all here. The gang's here. All right, what do we want to hop into? First things first in the intro. Trick or treat wise, Donald, trick or treat House of Dragons for the season finale.
Oh, it was a trick.
It was a trick.
I mean a treat.
I was gonna say,
it was a treat. It was a treat. It was very, very good. Cliffhanger ending shocked me. Had my heart drop and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for all this."
So thumbs up for the first season, or
yes, definite thumbs up. HBO said they had 9.3 million viewers on that Sunday.
I'll be pissed tomorrow when it don't come on.
Yeah, that time slot. But the only bad thing about it, season 2 is not coming out till 2024.
Oh wow, a
Yeah,
little bit of break.
Show's expensive, man. They gotta get more subscribers over 2023 to pay for 2024.
Yeah, they said they're starting filming second season in Spain, March next year.
Oh wow! Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of post-production work. So.
Oh, well, yeah. You got CGI those dragons in.
No doubt, absolutely.
For that. Yeah, but very good, very good.
All right, and then gaming news: trick or treat Xbox. What do we got on the list today for them?
Oh, well, Xbox. That's about to be a trick for you, Xbox people. They said Microsoft, Xbox, how they was getting on PlayStation for raising prices. Well, guess whose prices are being raised after the holiday season?
Xbox.
Yeah, the CEO says, "Yeah, we're sorry about PlayStation raising prices, but it looked like we have to raise prices too." So that's on everything. That's on systems. That's on controllers. That may be on gaming. That's definitely on Game Pass. So they said expect sometime next year prices are going up.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, everything else across the board is going up. So why wouldn't they jump on the inflation bandwagon as well? But so new Call of Duty. Did you guys download it? Did you play it?
No,
I'm waiting till that sale comes.
Wait till the sale comes.
I don't play Call of Duty anymore. One of those games that I'm done with.
But everything that I saw and heard about it, they enjoyed it. It's good.
Yes.
So
they've definitely been good. It's just we ain't good.
Yeah,
you can't keep up. The game ain't fun no more.
Yeah,
well, I don't got 10 hours a day to dedicate my life to playing games.
Exactly.
So why am I going to hop in a co-op and just
get murked?
Yeah, get murked.
Like learning to read. Yeah, I think we all need to take up that hobby.
Yeah, that's what it is. They said people just like to just hop on just to play after work or something like that, and they cannot, move because you're getting shot up or everything. By people spending 15 hours a day on it trying to master it.
You're literally stuck playing the story mode, and that's it. You can't do nothing online because
they need separate brackets, like the professionals, and then I just got off work, man. Let me de-stress.
Yeah.
Hey, Taquan, if you would have called 1-800 Hot Lips, you wouldn't have had to give up that kidney. Them feet pics may be doing it.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, man.
That's right. That's right. Right.
Yeah, but Modern Warfare.
That OnlyFans link on there. Go ahead, we'll post it for you. Get you some new subscribers.
Yeah, but Modern Warfare 2 came out yesterday, and also, yeah, that's true too. That is middle schoolers or.
Yeah, nothing like an 8-year-old ruining my self-esteem to where I question my life after I get offline playing a video game.
They go hard too.
Oh, yes, they do. Mm-hmm. Also, all the Resident Evil Village DLC came out yesterday as well. I have it all downloaded in, and I didn't even play it yet. And I'm on vacation. Didn't even play it yet. I'm still watching horror movies.
Yeah, I think we have either Candyman or the original Nightmare on Elm Street is in line tonight. And the original Candyman. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I got that on the docket for the night with my daughter.
There you go.
Trick. She did not like the original Halloween. Thought it was trash. Said I wasted an hour before anybody died, and I only got 3 people murdered. Like, this movie's garbage. And I was like, wow, like you really went hard on the critique.
Yeah.
Death toll? She look for numbers?
Yeah, yo, she was
Not quality, she want quantity.
yeah, she's like, what is it? She goes in there, why would you drop the knife? Like, you dropped the knife 3 times. Like, the dumbest thing ever. Yeah, I thought about it definitely for sure. I'm gonna see what she says about either Nightmare on Elm Street or the original Candyman, because they're a little bit more blood and guts.
Apparently, if there's no killing in the first 3 minutes, then she's out.
Has she watched the new Candyman?
No, she hasn't seen any of them, so I'm gonna start her off with the original before I hit her with the remake.
She's like, I want to see killing in the opening credits.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but it is what it is at this point. So, all right. But anything else we gotta get over before we hop into the Ucey bell to bell segment?
Another trick is candy is shrinking this year. Your Halloween candy
shrinking. How
are you surprised?
Instead of raising the prices, they're shrinking the packaging sizes and some of the candy in the.
Oh, they've been doing that forever.
But you got to stop, man. Come on.
Yo, hey, everybody's a critic around here. So yeah, I'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna wait for her review on one of those movies, and maybe it'll be better. But yeah, the shrinkage is a problem, not just for candy, but real.
I mean, you talked about inflation. They said they didn't want to raise the price. We just want to give you less product.
The chip game has been doing that for years, right?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
They've been adding more air to that bag every single year, and now I'm paying $6 for a bag of pretzels. That
candy bars when we were kids.
Yeah,
the regular was like a king size.
That's like a bag of Doritos is $5 now.
I used to buy Utz 2 for $4. Now they're 2 for $7. It's like
they're 2 for $8.
2 for $8 now.
2 for $8. Yep.
See, I stopped buying them once I got to like $6. I was like, no, it's not worth it now.
I mean, I guess that'll get me to go on a diet because I'm not gonna be able to afford junk food.
I'll price the healthy food. We got no choice to eat healthy now.
Hey, when blueberries are 2 for $4 and chips are 2 for $7, I'm gonna go with the blueberries.
Another trick or treat. Okay, this is a trick or treat for y'all.
See?
Oh, too damn much.
Is that them big ones, the big cups, or?
I remember one time they tried to sneak in a 3-pack as a king size, which was fraudulent.
Yo, Arizona tea cannot charge more than $1. That's where I draw the line. Arizona tea is not worthy of being more than $1.
Yeah,
a couple years ago,
99-cent can was it. That's right price for the product. You can't.
They have the can for 99 cents, and then they have the plastic one for $1. And it's less. It's just like, why am I buying that one whenever I can just buy the can?
Yeah, I'm gonna call foul on that. I'm gonna call trick on Arizona trying to get me for that. You're not doing that. Not with that Arizona green tea with ginseng that's been around since the Stone Age. I'm not doing that.
Trick or treat. Back to the Future is headed to Broadway.
I saw that. I'm gonna go treat. I feel like Broadway can do it right. Broadway don't really. There's not a whole lot of shoots and misses on Broadway, so I'm gonna go with a treat.
I've seen this listed as a musical. I'm gonna go with a treat.
Yeah, I'll say a treat.
I'll go treat. Could be interesting. You're not gonna get the graphic, like the full effect though. On Broadway.
Solo.
Hey, Todd, Donald and Jason must be sitting on their board because they're on the board of directors at Arizona Tea.
Hey, I don't drink Arizona tea, man.
I don't drink Arizona tea.
Is that a white thing?
I don't. Maybe.
No.
Okay.
Oh. They did their
No, they got the Arizona fruit punch in the can for 99 cents. You think that's a white thing?
No. Arizona tea's just not good. Turner's
I
and
love
Turkey
their
Hill.
green tea.
Turner's and Turkey Hill. That's all I mess with.
Turkey Hill is the worst. I can't believe you brought that. That's a trick. That's the trick.
Swiss is the worst.
I like.
I don't mind turkey.
Turkey Hill. I like their lemonade.
Only thing that come in the can should be soda. If it ain't carbonated, get out of here.
Okay.
I don't know what soda is. We're from Pittsburgh. We call it pop. I don't know what that is you're talking about.
Is that the DC in you?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of DC, they made some news this week. James Gunn, and I'm forgetting the other individual's name. Taking over the DC universe. Trick or Treat. James Gunn in charge of creative for DC.
I say treat.
Hopefully treat.
I'll see they changed the name to DCU now.
Is it DC Entertainment or
DCU? DC.
Oh.
Or
DC
Universe. Are they doing Universe too?
Yeah.
Detective Comics Universe.
Oh, of course.
Oh, Detective Comics Universe. Okay.
Yeah. Black Adam, from all accounts, box office wise, was a huge success. I have not seen the movie, so no spoilers if you're in the comments.
I'm gonna try tomorrow.
I'm trying to get to see that.
I'll wait till HBO Max.
You signed the rock and shit change.
Well,
apparently, that's why I saw an article the other day. Apparently, his wife is like really, her ex-wife is really doing stuff like behind the scenes.
So. James Gunn is mid, really? I mean, I did see the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special trailer. I'm all for that. I think, that Guardians of the Galaxy, I feel like Dave Bautista as Drax is just going to steal that entire show.
Oh, he's back again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was filmed, I think, like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this took them a bit to release it, but
yeah,
it was part of their contract.
Okay.
Still, original contract.
All right. Anything else in the intro? All right, let's hop over to Ucey time. All right, so right off the bat, probably the biggest treat of this entire week in pro wrestling was Sami Zayn last night on SmackDown.
Yes, it was.
Okay, that man he's been doing it for weeks and months. Definitely his best year run in WWE for everything that he's done. When you think about how he started off the year with Johnny Knoxville and Jackass to the WrestleMania match, and now this whole Bloodline storyline. He's been getting different people to crack and break during segments.
I've never seen that many people crack at one time in a segment.
The only thing I wish I would have saw, they didn't show Solo at all.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad he was for them to not even cut to him once during that entire time.
Even Paul had a little smirk on his face.
Yeah. Jimmy cracked me up the whole time because he was just trying to hide it in the back.
He has the best job.
Yeah.
You're cool with Sammy, so you can laugh, you can do whatever. You can just sit back there and play the background.
But Jay holding his face when he put his face down and holding it.
Had to turn around a couple times.
Yeah, that was the best part when Ron was like, come here. Nope, stay right here. We're gonna get through this. Stay right here.
I don't know. I would love to see it, but I don't know if that would happen.
Do you think they get chewed out in events?
That's a good. I don't think Vince would go in on them for that segment.
Okay.
I really don't, because
I don't think anybody last night said anything. They probably enjoyed that.
Oh, they probably, I
don't probably like that a lot. Yeah.
As much as the drama and the seriousness of the, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says. Like, and you get the ooh, and you're wondering like, oh, like as much tension that was there, and it got cut immediately.
Yeah.
but it worked and it was tremendous. And Roman brought it back around and saved it with the whole, I'm gonna make him a full-time bloodline member. He's gonna be Sammy Uso. Like this is amazing.
It is.
Like and then Heyman counting down to go on a commercial break was fantastic as well. Like the pay-per-view, and now a word from our sponsors and did a mic flip as they went to black break.
You know me in the bloodline, but last night that segment definitely the number one on my list for any segment they've had.
It's been
tremendous.
Gold. It's been tremendous every week. Like they're still finding ways to build it. They're still finding ways to bring up tension. Yeah. You know,
and you don't know the end game.
You have no idea where it's going, which is fantastic. Fantastic. Like I was sitting there last night
was close to an SNL level though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, after the segment went off, I'm sitting there and I'm trying to I'm playing Booker in my head. All right, like where would I go? Where would I take it? And like, no matter what I thought about doing, I'm like, well, they're going to do something that's going to top that, because everything that I thought of doing so far versus what they've done it better than what I've done it. And so, not that I'm anybody, but at the same time, that just goes to show from my entertainment standpoint how great this story has been from them. And just, Sammy, pure gold. Like for me, he's the MVP of WWE this year. Like he's going to get my year-end of the year-end award for the MVP of WWE.
He's getting a year-end award for me.
Most improved.
he's getting one for me. Teasing.
And like watching that last night, like I thought back to him on Stone Cold's podcast and just him talking about.
That's that Seth is getting the award for him.
Can't argue with Seth either. Based off of what he's done work-wise, character-wise, story-wise. Sammy, just the way he talked about where he's at and how he's, rounding in the form, so to speak, and feels like he has a solid footing on everything that he's doing now, which is crazy because he's been in the WWE system for how long, right? Like for him to feel like now he's just rounding in the form and coming into his peak, it just goes to show like it's not necessarily, how fast you get there. It's just whether or not you can get there. And once you're there, you're there. And he is probably one of the most over people in the company right now.
Oh, yeah.
And how old is he?
He's in his late 30s, mid to late 30s, I think.
He's probably around our age.
And what do you say they hit their prime? Around 30, 35?
Around 38 to 40. Like AJ talked about, I know Ed just talked about it. Like he's like right around like that 36 to 40-year-old range. It was like I was peak.
Sammy's 38
in my prime. So yeah. treat all the way around from Sami Zayn last night.
Yes.
Tightest of Uceys.
Tightest of Uceys. Yo, when you get Ucey over, like
the crowd was just
in the crowd ate it up. Yeah, they ate it up.
Yeah.
Remember when they shit on Ucey hot?
Yeah. Now
get back around to that.
That's going to be the thing every week. Is going to be Ucey.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jay, you bring up a good point with the Ucey hot. Like, just look based on the delivery and how it can change. It's the same word. It's still Ucey, but based on how it was delivered in the story that it's been told in and who's delivering it, it just caught fire. Like there's going to be Ucey signs next week at SmackDown, like there were Austin 316 signs.
They taped SmackDown last night, so no, there won't be next week.
Okay.
And like what? And like what? Stone Cold's what? See how that took off.
Still going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now to my trick from last night on SmackDown. Make sure you hear me stay Uzi. And I don't know if anybody else picked up on it, but when they were in the back before they went through the curtain, did anybody else catch the yeet that Jay said before they walked out? Like, why are we getting yeet? Why are we still pushing yeet? Like, but tremendous. The trick for me last night, and I haven't lost faith, and I'm not turned off, but I need some explanation to come sooner rather than later. Was Bray Wyatt last night. And it wasn't so much what he did or how they presented it. It was more, I couldn't hear, like,
Uncle Howdy.
You can't make out Uncle Howdy based on how they're mixing in the music and stuff and the scratchiness and all that. And
like he's in a mask.
Yeah, like, and even Bray with his promo, it was just kind of like, not rambling, but in a sense it was rambling. Like, I have no idea where you're going or what you're doing, talking about yourself as just the man Bray Wyatt. You talk about doing horrible things, and now you may have to do horrible things again, but no matter where you go, it always catches up to you. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not completely turned off by it last night. I just think they need to change some of the presentation of it so that way it comes across more, and I'm not trying to rewind and turn my volume up to 50 to listen into what they say.
Or
like, I need a mixer.
Subtitles.
Yeah, I need a mixer to take out all the background noise so I could just hear what's being said.
I gotcha.
I didn't mind it. I just don't want it to be drawn out.
That's the same here.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's a long game, but the way stories are being told now, pace got to get picked up a little bit. Like, I was expecting something yesterday.
I was expecting like one person to.
Yeah, like something yesterday to progress it.
I'm hoping that this is just because of Crown Jewel. They didn't have anything put in place for him, and then right after Crown Jewel's over the next week, hopefully it picks up a little bit. They need to pick up his entrance too. I think like that whole door thing that takes way too much time.
Yeah, they started that at like 9:52, and I'm like, is he going to get down to the ring in time before they go off the air? Like,
he got in the ring, I think, at 9:54, and I was like, are they going to go off 9:57 again today? Because if so, like, we don't got a lot of time here.
That should have been a 2-time deal. Once on the pay-per-view and your first appearance on television.
Yeah,
because they showed it. That's what he's going to do, but just don't do just all the music. They can tighten that up.
Yeah, they're waiting for the song to come, the perfect spot for him to come out, all that stuff.
It's like 20 minutes. You got on a show, you got Bray's entrance and you got Roman's entrance. Right. That's way too much time.
Roman versus Bray versus Taker in an entrance lane triple threat. That's tremendous.
Yeah, that's your show. Even before they get to the ring, that's your show.
Yeah. The theme song is definitely dope.
I like the theme.
It.
Definitely.
It's just the build to it. It takes
takes too long.
That 10, even if it's like 15, 18 seconds before that first riff comes in. And I get it, like it's set up based off of the entrance with the door and the light and all that other stuff. But yeah, I don't know how invested people are going to continue to be if you're going to go that long of an entrance.
Is it royalty free, or they just pay him for it for once?
I don't know. I mean,
not yet. No.
Is he
teasing it? But
I mean, Rock teased it in his interview. He called himself the head of the table. If they're going to do it, WrestleMania 39 makes the most sense. It's in LA. It's just whether or not The Rock can make it fit in his schedule. And right now with Black Adam and the press tour and everything else, I don't know if we get him in for Survivor Series to kick off that run or if they try to squeeze it in somewhere else.
And what else does he have on his schedule next year? If he has any other movies to promote, which he usually does around that time, that's part of the thing. Or does he have to film anything at that time?
They do stuff with the XFL too.
Or XFL launching at that time. Even with the last time he wrestled, he got injured. He had that. I think it was like a torn pec or something.
Yeah,
it's like if he has something scheduled. If he has something scheduled next year, then I don't know. It's not like, listen, he can still do it. Like, he's still in great shape. He can still probably go out there and do it. It's just, is Hollywood gonna let him do it?
Yeah. So I have another trick or treat, but I want to bundle it in from last night.
I would have liked to seen that match. Maybe it could still happen, but
I think if Vince is still in charge, you get that between Cena and Theory.
Okay.
So if you don't want The Rock to win the Rumble, which I think would be lazy booking,
Yes,
just to vision him into the title match, does Rock versus Roman for the head of the table, does that have to include the belts?
no.
Thought he was in the red hoodie.
We'll get there. Don't jump ahead, Dave, because that's my other bundle of my trick or treat. To tie into something else that happened last night on SmackDown. So yeah, any other trick or treats from last night on SmackDown?
Emma was a treat.
Yeah.
Surprise.
All right.
I'm shocked.
The match with Wanda was a trick.
So first things first, let's get into the supposed treat of Emma, and I'm going to tie this into the first fourth generation superstar with Ava Raine debuting in NXT.
The Pebble. Let's just call her the Pebble.
The Pebble. Yeah, I like that nickname better.
Yeah.
So Pebbles debuts. I saw a lot of heat and a lot of drawback on her being in with Schism, and I don't necessarily want to go there right away, but a debut can either make or break you, right? We see it all the time, supposedly, allegedly, right? But Rock came out, debuted as Rocky Maivia, and has turned into The Rock. So Pebbles debuting in Schism, I'm not so much worried that she can't get to where she can go potentially as a superstar just because she debuts in Schism. I don't think that's going to sink her battleship, right?
And it plays into her message. Like, this is my family. You don't have now you lower your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Right. She's almost disowning that entire bloodline storyline, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be tied into none of that. So I'm okay with that. Make her be her own individual.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I'm fine with that, right? So
the thing that I really enjoyed out of it was that, we've been hearing rumors that Schism might be going to the main roster. Maybe part being Brandon, just like, okay, if they're adding her, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Schism's to stay in NXT for a bit, which I like. I'd rather have that just down in NXT.
They're not a main roster call up.
No.
Like, they're not.
The three
not
of them
ready.
are no.
Not ready yet. But my flip side of my coin is on that being the trick and treat bundle. So Pebbles, Ava Raine, I'm not gonna call that a trick, okay? Because I don't think it necessarily killed her character or her potential by debuting with Schism. Bringing Emma back last night and re-debuting her only to lose to Ronda Rousey, to me, just cuts any type of momentum she could possibly have by you re-debuting her.
That's very true.
No, because it wasn't a squash match.
I don't even with it being a competitive match, you don't bring her in to re-debut to lose on her first night there.
I mean, but were you expecting her to be?
There was how many other women in that locker room that could have answered that open challenge last night?
I was expecting Baszler, but they have a different storyline for her. It's looking like.
And if you're going to make Baszler Ronda's muscle
heavy
and just choking people out, and Ronda's going heel tendency wise, right, in her promos and how she's talking to the crowd and everything, then give me that Shayna Baszler, because that's what she did in NXT and was just choking out people in the locker room, and it worked amazingly. So if you're going to refresh Shayna that way, I'm all for that. To eventually get to her versus Ronda.
I think Shayna might win the Rumble this year. I think they might play a little bit of the long game for that.
But yeah, I just don't get why you bring Emma back to have her lose, competitive match or not. Like,
During the week, I kept hearing rumors that Chelsea Green was coming back.
I heard that.
And I was like, oh, well, maybe she'll be the one. And then all day yesterday, I kept seeing Emma's returning. Emma's going to be on SmackDown tonight. I was like, okay, interesting, but
yeah, Green's contract is up, and rumor is she has re-signed with WWE. So it just depends on when she comes back. If those rumors turn out to be true, which I don't doubt that they are. Given
does her husband follow? Because apparently Madcap Moss is part of the reason why Emma returned. So
let's not hire couples like. All right, here's a trick or treat for you guys. We're still seeing this bidding war for talent, right?
I'd like to see Nia Jax come back.
I think Nia's done with wrestling.
She could be.
I mean, never say never, but I really do. Like, I think she's done. I wouldn't mind seeing her back either, but you don't really know how many of those bridges are burned with her with girls backstage based off of her unsafe work and everything else that was allegedly tied to her.
Yeah.
But no, I lost my train of thought. Who was I going with?
Bidding war.
Another trick or treat.
Yeah. So this bidding war, this signing of talent, right? AEW signed Bandito and Juice Robinson. AEW or WWE's bringing back Emma. They're bringing back allegedly Chelsea Green. You already seen them bring back Bray, Cross, etc. Right? Like all these talents are being signed.
Yeah.
But then you get people like Miro and Lana CJ came out this week like, hey, AEW is no different than WWE. At the end of the day, it's one guy calling the shots and he's going to go work with his favorites. And Miro's not one of his favorites. But it's just you keep signing people, but yet where do you put them?
It's very true.
It is. The roster is too bloated.
I don't have a problem with Triple H like righting wrongs and bringing people back into the fold, but it's happening too much. Like you give me, I don't need a debut every week.
They need he needs to have some sort of plan to maybe like what we've talked about this in the past, but what they used to do is right after WrestleMania, talent that they know that they're not going to use, that they haven't used in a bit, release them then. So if he's going to release talent, cool. But if he's going to do this Vince thing of just stacking talent, no, I'm not cool with that. Like, because there was definitely when they started doing those COVID releases, there was definitely some people that got released that were just there for a long period of time that just weren't doing anything.
And I was shocked that Cole said it's been 5 years since Emma's been back in WWE.
I know it didn't feel
it's
COVID,
been
man.
Long? Like
them on commentary lately have been like sticking with continuity and rehashing the past. It's been great.
Yeah,
I've been liking it.
Yeah, because it's true.
I don't. I never thought
that on the bench. Yeah.
I never thought I would say this, but I miss Jimmy Smith and Byron Saxton on Raw. Kevin Patrick is not doing it for me.
No.
I agree.
Like he's a step above
terrible.
Like there's a mean as being the worst. Maybe Mike Adamle in the general manager role was worse than that. So I go Adamle, Amin, and then Kevin Patrick.
Yeah, he's not. He wasn't good as a backstage announcer, so I was surprised when they bumped him up to actually a lead commentator.
Yeah, that's a great point, Ty. I've never heard WWE use the word release on TV until last night. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard them use the word release either. Now, Emma was over.
Yeah.
Emma was over. Vince ruined her when she came up to the main roster. And then she started getting over on the main roster again, and then they went, and then whatever happened, I know she had some health issues and everything else, so she went away, and then the Emelina character.
Emelina stuff, yeah.
And that
never worked.
That got moved over to All Red everything, and that didn't work for her either. So like it was just yeah.
But like we've talked about in the past, it's like you bring back Hit Row. It's like Hit Row still hasn't even to me it hasn't clicked on TV. The only thing I'll say last night is whenever Nakamura did the money with them. That was the best part since Hit Row's come back.
My thoughts on Hit Row.
I mean, to me, Hit Row's not Hit Row without Swerve. That's just my interpretation on it.
And that's why this never came back.
We do not. Jason's going to agree with you on that, but we do not need this.
But yeah, I don't. So I don't know.
Steve
What
all read everything over there.
Yeah, I don't know about Hit Row. Like, to me, since they've come back, it's kind of been where are they as far as where the show taking place, and the reaction they get based on where they're at for the show. Because there's been some weeks they've gotten a pop and people have been into it, and then other weeks it's just been dead, and it's like, well, and the only thing that the only thing I can come up with is the town that they're in, like where the show's at, which is fine. But as an act, you gotta be able to make it work wherever you go. So, what are you gonna change up and what are you gonna do? I like Top Dollar wearing the ski mask as a Lucha Libre mask last night. That's hilarious.
I'm not sold on Top Dollar.
No.
He went up to the top rope. I was expecting a flip or something. He came off with a chop.
Dave with the dad jokes.
You're right, Dave. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Not saying down the road they might not have something better, but right now, bringing them back, nothing's clicking for me.
Speaking of debuts again.
Put that one up.
Since we talk about Hit Row, we saw Zelina again with Legado on NXT this week. We got Elektra Lopez coming back into the fold in NXT. I like her with the Madrina character, and doing what she did.
It was weird though, her return. Like the commentators on NXT were like talking, and she's in the ring. And it's like, and then like after she's like doing the full beatdown, it's just like, oh, what's she doing in the ring? It's like,
well, I mean, it's
need to be
there's something. Vic Joseph.
Yeah.
Vic Joseph is just as bland as Mike Adamle. I can't like he's the worst.
And
Booker just talks. He just talks. He just says anything.
Hey, I can listen to Booker.
All emotion.
But you just gave the Nikki Cross debut.
But Booker sounds like TNA Booker right now to me. Like whenever he was like in the main event Mafia, Steve, like you like that segment like where he was in the ring doing his own announcement. Yeah, that's how Booker sounds right now on NXT to me.
Oh, Booker T with a clothesline. Oh, Booker T with a punch in the corner. Booker T with a reversal, and he's just doing the same thing now. But Jay, you brought up the point where you just with Elektra, you just gave me what you gave me on Monday night with Nikki Cross. I saw a lot of hate. I wouldn't say hate. I saw a lot of heat for that being the main event closing segment of Raw. People were not happy that that's how you ended your show, with Nikki Cross taking out everybody and then going to black. And it's like, well, if you're going to bring her back and have her make a statement and impact, what more statement or impact can she make than take out the two top women in the division on Raw right now, and Bayley and Bianca?
I was fine with the ending.
I was fine.
I had no problem.
Especially that press off the corner. I didn't know what the hell was happening.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to me.
I definitely didn't see it coming. So
the hell was something different.
Yeah.
Now, because of her interference last night, on Monday night, we got the announcement last night that Becky and Bianca will be fighting in a last woman standing match in Saudi next weekend. When are they going to culminate this?
No, I don't like those matches.
If you're doing a last woman standing match,
this got to be it.
This has to be the end of it, right? Like you can't drag it out. Like there's no meat left on the bone for this, right? And if Bayley doesn't win the belt out of this feud, Damage Control is dead.
Yeah, I mean, you already got the tag titles, so you got to give her the belt.
But they're already struggling to get over as a group.
I like them.
I haven't been impressed since they debuted.
Ty is our Sammy.
What do you have against me, man?
I just read Ty's. I was laughing at Dave.
Hey, I ordered a shirt for you, Ty. I ordered a shirt coming.
But yeah, Bianca and Bailey, like this, you can't go anywhere else. Like unless we get some type of screwy finish, and then they lead to the War Games match at Survivor Series. But that's still a month away. Like I don't know what they're doing with this at this point. I was listening to clips of Vince Russo, Stevie Richards, and Ben Amin on Russo's show talking about how Bianca is just getting buried now, and I'm like, I don't know if I tend to agree with that being a burial, but
I don't think it's a burial. But
That's Vince Russo talking.
This is her second run, and I mean, she still isn't done anything like memorable with the title run.
I mean, days wise, yeah, but because we talked about that on last week's show, but I mean, there's not too many champions carrying belts right now that are having memorable runs. So we still can't get the IC belt defended on a pay-per-view, and I don't know if that's because like Ray or Gunther or one of them refused to go over to Saudi, but
maybe. But
that's the only way. That's the only reason why I thought that belt is being defended on SmackDown is because one or both or some of those guys just won't go over there.
If I already wasn't a Walter fan, that chop he gave Ray last night it threw me back to Big Show and
just because it was Ray.
Yeah,
just because it was Ray. So yeah, trick or treat wise on Raw.
Yeah, U.S. title 2 tie. They need to. It gets the good treatment on Raw, but just not on pay-per-views either.
We ran in and hopped on the call up with Kenny and Toe for their 1 year anniversary for the Raw watch along. I hopped in the third hour after you guys were off because save the best for last, like I said on Monday's show. But
the third hour that nobody watches, huh?
I drew ratings that third hour. What are you talking about? Show came on early. It was tremendous. Like it was.
Oh, he finally showed up, huh?
Yeah, he came on. It's tremendous. Toe got Kenny kicked off of Twitch again. It was great. It was hilarious. But no, that Rob, like the opening segment was good and everything else, and then it just kind of just did its normal thing. And it was like, Chris, you brought up in pre-production, 3 months in under Triple H, how's the booking? I just don't see how you fix Raw unless you take it away from 3 hours to 2 hours.
There was a few weeks there that it felt really good, but the past couple, man, like.
And I didn't hate Monday night. Don't get me wrong. Like I thought it was a fine show. It wasn't like it wasn't trash, and it wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta you if you missed Raw, you missed out. But it's just the peaks and valleys are just prevalent because it's 3 hours.
I saw someone on Twitter post this after Raw on Monday, and it just seems that Raw isn't necessarily bad or necessarily good, but just unnecessarily boring.
It's enough to keep you watching.
And I agree with
that.
It's
not enough to turn you away.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, now I'm flipping back and forth to Monday Night Football depending on who's on or whatever else. But
you're coming back.
But I am coming back. Where before I was just flipping off and not going back at all. So, I'll agree with that.
It's just getting to the point where, okay, I still want to watch it. But am I going to get to the point where I'm just going to wait till later and DVR it and fast forward through stuff? Because for a while there, I just wasn't watching, period. But like I've been watching consistently live, and again, 3 hours of Raw is really rough whenever it's not all entertaining. Like, they kick things off. Was that this week or the week before with Brock and Lashley? And that was okay. That was a really good start, and then it wasn't much after that. It's like. I don't know. There's stuff that's good on it. It's just not consistent at all.
And why? And you brought up booking stuff wise, Chris, for Triple H. Like, why are we running a Lashley?
Same guy.
Yeah. Why are we running a Lashley Lesnar storyline? Like these two have been fighting for 15, 20 years. Like they've had one match.
Yeah.
And you're hyping this up to be like this big, long, drawn out blood feud. And it's like, dude, they've wrestled once since both men have been in the company 20 years.
And that's how it should be hyped up, that, these two men haven't fought a lot.
This is what everybody wanted.
I'm not mad at the booking of them two fighting. It's more of, why are you trying to sell it as this big, long blood feud when they've only wrestled one time? Just keep it simple. Keep it legitimate. For whatever reason, their paths have not crossed. They finally met face to face, and now they're going at it again to see who truly is the more dominant person. Yada yada yada. Okay, I can run with that. It's logical. It makes sense. It's simple. Don't give me this hype story that they've been at each other's throats and it's you or me type of situation and everything else. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. It takes me away from the excitement of the matchup of seeing Lashley and Lesnar, two big ass men slapping meat, that I want to see whenever them two are in the ring.
Steve loves his meaty men.
So I don't know. It's just, story's been stale for me, like all stories. I mean, I'm really just watching WWE just for Sammy, to be truthful.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if this is the right time to tie into it, but I put it in the thing too. I feel like MJF's the only thing that I'm watching on AEW.
Yeah, you might as well change AEW to BCC versus JAS, because that's all you're getting on your TV each and every single week.
You really want them as a tag team, Dave?
I mean, if this was Vince,
Lashley,
you'd get them as a tag team and they'd have the belts on them right now.
Yeah, and then lead to the match.
But yeah, I mean, storylines you brought up MJF, like AEW's JAS versus BCC, because that's all that's on my TV every single week. Like, how long are those two groups going to have matches with each other?
Until the end of time.
Oh, jeez. So, yeah, absolutely. So
does Daniel Garcia got to dye his hair blonde for that?
Yeah. Jericho's was quoted this week, and it's come out that he, after the All Out scrum, said that Punk was a cancer to the locker room, this, that, and the other. Triple H gave an answer on a press conference or interview this week, saying that he's not opposed to the idea of signing Punk again at some point in time if it were to be best for business type deal. Listen, I wasn't.
Jericho's gonna make me hate or make me like CM Punk.
This is
when a Hogan talks about another Hogan, you don't believe it.
Oh, brother.
So look,
this is a good idea, Nate. Maybe they'll take him back.
Look, Punk's obviously not on the show, hasn't been on the show, and isn't going to be back on the show. So I'm not going to continue to talk about somebody that's not relevant anymore. So this is the last time that I'm bringing this up, and last time that I'm talking on this. Okay, all right.
It's the truth.
To me, CM Punk just showed his true colors, and I harken back to that promo that Triple H cut on him years ago in the ring, where you're all about you. You've only been about you, and you will always be about you. So I wasn't jumping off the CM Punk diving board when he came back into the pool of Chicago deep dish pizza that just made him so exciting and he's saving wrestling. I wasn't there for that, and I'm not going to be there for that, and I'm not going there with that. Okay, he's over. I'm done. Move on. I don't care about Punk. All right. Now you're lying about your dog getting your teeth kicked in and everything else. Like, just
he was more upset about the dog than anything.
I'm done.
Hey, John Wick, man. John Wick. So that all over again.
Every time I hear more and more about that scrum in the back, I believe it's fake. I believe they just sat around just talking more than anybody was doing anything.
Now,
I swear I do. I believe nothing happened.
Speaking of the counterparts, and as you can see, my green screen isn't cooperating with the upper side of my face right now. What the hell was the Thanos erasing of the Elite vignette that they ran this week? I have been racking my brain trying to figure out what it means, why they did it, how they did it. I don't know why you would do that type of vignette to bring them back. I don't know what's going on with it, but
now they're the Uber Elite.
And yeah, I saw somebody on Twitter say, "Oh, well, this is how they could do their version of the NWO, and it'd be them against the company that they founded to try to kill the company that they founded."
Oh God!
If anybody's gonna kill it, I'm gonna kill it,
man. I'm glad I haven't watched in 3 weeks.
Hey, if you do that, bring back the third man, the original third man. Brother.
He's on a Legends contract with WWE. So he can't come back.
But yeah, I don't.
The EWO. See, I think it's going to be, you saw the video this week that they take away, and then next week it's going to be a video where they restore, and then they come back.
So they come back in full gear to face Death Triangle for the belts and win their trios titles back?
That's the rumor I heard.
Well, that's the VP move.
Tony Khan snaps, and they come back.
That's the EVP move right there. We haven't fought nobody since we got kicked off the show. We coming back for the titles, of course. Don't work your way up. What rankings are they?
They can't get the titles back.
Oh, yeah,
they're going to, but they shouldn't.
You said they can't.
They shouldn't. I didn't say that the second time. They shouldn't get the titles back. They should, but they're gonna. It's just what AEW does. And then everybody's gonna compare them to TNA after that. That's why they shouldn't.
Wrestling match wise, I mean I enjoyed Dynamite wrestling match wise. You know, there were good matches. I thought Punk and Penta or Moxley and Penta was great.
Can't stop talking about that man.
Oh no! Remember, they're one and the same. It's a Hogan and a Hogan. It's one and the same.
Penta and Phoenix, as much as I love them together as a tag team, both of them can easily be top main event guys, and that was a strong showing for Penta. Sammy and Danielson was good. Like, I like the MJF and Renee dynamic with them on stage. I thought Renee's facials and reactions were tremendous. MJF mocking Mox with the whole shoulder roll. I'm gonna drink your piss, and I'm gonna punch you out. Like, do they? Okay, would you turn MJF babyface? Because I saw this being the debate of the week after. You make MJF babyface?
No. Because he's that, and JR, and I forget how exactly he explained it, but it's like he's the heel that everybody wants to cheer. So just let him be who he is.
Is that a heel?
But you don't need him to be babyface to do that.
I think he's the heel you need to build somebody.
So if you're having him as this super gray, blur the lines heel babyface character, other than Moxley as being the ultimate over babyface with the AEW crowd right now, who else do they have to go up against MJF to where MJF is just not getting cheered more consistently than the babyface he would face?
Well, whose fault is that?
As a heel or as a babyface?
Just in general, if you're keeping if MJF is this blend of bad guy, good guy, and he's getting cheers, he's getting boos based on what he's saying and everything else, and he's leaning into it both ways and all that.
I don't know. Like you saw it a couple weeks ago, whenever it was Moxley and Hangman, the crowd was cheering Hangman more. And it's like, if Moxley's supposed to be the guy that's over, why is Hangman getting more cheers than the champ? I don't know. Maybe once Hangman's good, maybe that would be a good feud. Hangman MJF.
I think people were tired of Mox. Well, weren't they in oh no, they were in Ohio, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If he builds stars sometimes, you could have your choosing, but
You could have made it. You could have had a Darby Hill MJF.
Who's that?
Moment.
Who's Darby Allin?
There you go, Donald. Circling back around to my comment, you're just signing people.
Because I was thinking maybe Jungle Boy, but
I don't
think
think
he built Jungle Boy back up.
Yeah.
Who's that?
He's stuck in a. He's still stuck in a feud.
Who's that?
They could have
Jungle Boy or Darby.
Where's all these pillars? Where's all these pillars?
Yeah, I'm not. If you put Luigi Primo back on my screen again,
man was on one clip on social media
and got 2 bookings out of it. It's unbelievable.
and it's a star now.
You should even had the 1 booking, let alone the 2 bookings.
Rampage last night, the other trick or treat that I didn't understand.
I didn't see Rampage.
So Wardlow versus Taven was the main event for the TNT title.
Okay.
Match was good. I know people on here aren't fans of Matt Taven.
No.
Some think he's absolutely boring as shit. But
I like Taven.
I like Taven. I don't. Is he a main event heavyweight champion guy? No, but I enjoy Taven, and he can work in the ring. He's really solid, really good. Him and Wardlow had a good match. They played in the interference well with Maria and Mike Bennett on the outside. If you're gonna bring back the Elite with O'Reilly and Fish, O'Reilly having surgery and Fish gone from the company, I wouldn't mind seeing Adam Cole when he comes back in re-immerse himself in with the Kingdom from ROH.
Adam Cole's been teasing a return lately too, so
yeah. But you have after the match, you have Bennett jump on Wardlow and beating him down. So Joe comes out to make the save for War Joe, him and Wardlow, and then Powerhouse Hobbs' music hits, and I'm like, "Ooh, okay." My interest now because Hobbs, big meaty man, against Joe or Wardlow, I'm sold on either one of those matches and feuds. But then you have the Embassy, which is an ROH stable, come through the back door and beat up Joe and Wardlow. Hobbs comes in, beats up Wardlow, and then the show goes to black with Brian Cage holding up the ROH television title and Hobbs holding up the TNT title.
You can book it all in one scrum.
But here's the thing, and this goes back to continuity in wrestling, right? Hobbs and Cage don't like each other.
What could have been.
So why are they? Is Hobbs now a part of the Embassy, and is going to run with them in ROH, or is this splintered off to Hobbs? I am an interracial man myself, Ty. So the only vanilla I eat is ice cream, bro. Other than that, but so what? So is Hobbs part of the Embassy? Like I don't get.
Tune in next week.
It's the good old. It's just the good old. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
But you could have done this. You could have done this long time ago with those two.
And here's the thing,
better.
And Donald, this goes back to the point that you brought up and that we touched on with title reigns not meaning anything. Wardlow beat Sky for the belt in June. What the hell what have they done with him since then? You want to talk about not having a memorable title run?
It was Scorpio or Wardlow?
We're talking about Wardlow right now.
Wardlow, he's done nothing.
Yeah, but Scorpio's still on the milk carton.
Well, Scorpio was injured. That's why he's been off.
Oh,
he had surgery.
My Happy Meal in the draft last week.
Yeah.
What about the Happy Meal?
I thought it was the guy handing me my Happy Meal on the draft last week.
But it's just like you haven't done anything with that title or with that champion.
And he was coming off a high too.
real high.
Yeah,
Hey, once you beat 20 security guards, it fell off.
he was coming off a high.
He was, when we did our halfway through the year thing, I said right then he was my guy, and since then he's done nothing. They've done, not that he hasn't done anything. They haven't done anything.
They haven't did anything.
Yeah.
TK Russo didn't do anything with him.
Scorpio can blend.
Can't
God, I'm
blend.
But I don't like. Here's booking wise. We talked about booking with Triple H briefly and everything else. Here's what I'm over with AEW booking. Okay, I'm over with after every single match, the champions music or the heels music plays and they come out on stage and just stare each other down. I'm over that. I'm tired of seeing it. Tony Storm coming out on Wednesday night did absolutely, like, that was pointless. You just had her come
wrestling
out
101
top of the ramp. I don't care.
Or you can have Pockets walk in with his book bag and just be like, "Hey, you want this match next week?"
Orange.
Pocket. I'm gonna say who's Pockets.
Yeah, Orange. If Orange is going to consistently defend the All Atlantic title in triple threat matches, I'm going to be over that real quick.
At some point, we got to discuss him carrying the belt in the backpack too. But
I'm over that being done every single show. I'm over the multiple run-ins after every match and beatdowns, and I'm over the freaking tournaments. Why the hell are you running another tournament to crown a number one contender for the AEW World Championship for that match to take place at Winter is Coming? Like,
I hadn't even heard that.
The same night as the title match.
I thought they had rankings.
No, they don't.
That's what I said. I thought they. Oh, they don't.
They got rid of the rankings.
Tony just tweets out his bookings now.
Yeah.
Book it.
It's UFC now. It's UFC now.
It's UFC now.
So they ran last night on Rampage. They ran the announcement for the World AEW World Heavyweight Eliminator Tournament, and they announced Dante Martin as the first entrant. And then Dante Martin didn't deserve that, Chris. Don't do that to that half flyer. That is absolutely.
Hey, I like Dante. It's not him. It's the booking of Dante Martin. Like, you throw him in there, you know what's going to happen. Who's he going to face?
Well,
shoulders on Matt.
He was announced, and then Ethan Page threw his name in the hat for the tournament. So,
another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm over. Like, can't you come up with anything else besides the tournament?
And so if MJF wins, this is his first title defense. He ain't losing to whoever. So, does this even matter?
When Moxley wins, he ain't losing to whoever. Just a waste of
tournament. Well, okay, so if Moxley would win, that actually would make me think, okay, depending on who he's facing. Like, if he's facing Dante, I know Dante ain't winning. But it's just the point of...
You expecting Dante to make it out of bracket 1.
Yeah, no. It's just the point of, they do hype that show up. So it's like, if Moxley goes in, okay, maybe they could go another way with it. But if MJF wins the title, I know no one's going to beat him because it's his first title defense.
Dave, I could get on board with that come June, whenever you had your rash of injuries with Moxley, with Punk, and everything else, and you had whoever else, and you had to call adjustments and on the fly for your Forbidden Door pay-per-view and everything else. But we're months past that.
I agree.
Like,
don't book it. You can long play some stuff.
Me and Dave actually had this conversation a couple weeks ago, and I said
long play.
Yeah.
I mean, you can throw in a mini feud and play it out instead of just having like, here, you get a championship match this week, or here, you get a championship match until it.
I want to come back, and I want to come back to that you brought up last week, Jason, with are there too many title shots going on whenever we
and every promotion, yes,
yeah, we could come back to that.
Yeah, I think Dave. I just think that there's been too much time that the path they should be on the right path by now, and it still feels like they don't know what to do. Yeah, and that's a problem.
And if they're booking a year in advance, which is fine, I got no problem doing that. But given injuries, suspensions, time, whatever the case is, then you got to have your plans B, C, D, and E in line to where if somebody goes out with an injury, you know exactly where your pivot is and what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just like we had all these injuries, suspensions, whatever, during the back half of this year, and they have not been able to right the ship at all. And I mean, how many tournaments is this going to be this year? Since June, how many tournaments? We had the Owen Hart Memorial. We have the Owen Hart Women's Memorial. We've had the
2 world title.
Yeah, the immediate.
I mean,
The interim title.
You're talking
women's
6
interim.
tournaments.
Mm-hmm. You're women's international.
One tournament a month.
It really feels like since January, since Cody left, that they haven't been able to right the ship.
The trios tournament.
Trios tournament, yeah.
Oh, we don't speak of that, David. Remember, it wasn't him.
People, oh my God, AEW is going to be fine without Cody. AEW is going to be fine without Cody.
It has not.
See,
and
you can hate on that man only once, but
I'm still a fan of Cody, and it's just like that was him. Him in AEW was part of the reason why I really enjoyed AEW. Yes, he does, Ty.
Right. Anything else pro wrestling wise?
Yeah, the tag title. Yeah, the titles thing that Jason brought up.
What do you want to?
Yeah, I do. I'm with Jason. I think there's too many championship matches going on. I think they just do it for TV. Like it used to be something special back then when they had it for pay-per-view. Yeah. Like, wow, this, they're defending the whatever title on this pay-per-view. Now it's just like every single week there's just a title being up for grabs or whatever. It's not special no more. Yeah, it's not special no more. I think they do it just for numbers on their shows.
Only special belt left is Undisputed Universal.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roman's the only one.
Roman's belt is the only belt.
I feel like that's more of a mark on AEW versus other promotions, whether it's New Japan, Impact, WWE. I'm okay with the secondary titles and your tag titles being defended on TV and all that. You don't need to save all those title matches for pay-per-views. But yeah, your main women's champion and your male champion, there's no reason for Moxley to be defending the belt every single week on Dynamite.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not when you have a TNT champion, a TBS champion.
Yeah.
Like those are the belts that should be defended most of the time.
Yeah, so like every once in a while sprinkle those in to make it feel special to where you may see a title change, but
he had one a couple weeks ago.
Hey, looks like Dom is being booked better.
Okay, let's get into the Dom real quick before the debate this, because I wanted to save this towards the end. Trick or treat, Dom as the Eddie Guerrero of this generation.
Treat.
Or
Trick.
Eddie Guerrero was the Dominic Mysterio of his generation.
I feel like Dom is just trolling everybody. I love it.
Oh,
I'm treating this.
Yeah.
Oh, I am.
You know who stole that segment? Rhea Ripley.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Doesn't she always?
Like he's just like, I'm built different. Yeah, you
Lee.
are.
You put the Lee on. What are you doing?
There's no hyphen between the T and the LY. Like, what are you pausing for?
Absolutely.
But he's doing his job. He's getting a reaction.
Rhea did her job by slamming Gallows on the outside on Monday night too.
I listen. I tweeted out, and I said this,
being released.
In all seriousness, have Rhea Ripley body slam every single giant in WWE, like she's working her way up the original Mortal Kombat line to where she gets the almost at the end, and that's the coup de grace, the payoff. She body slams almost like she's been. You want to talk about somebody that's found her groove since they reinvented Judgment Day. I mean, she's been the best part of that stable.
Oh yeah.
I'm just waiting for her and Bianca to be at their peaks.
For who?
Her and Bianca to be at their peaks in their group.
I think if you're going to leave the belt on Bianca, then I think you go that way towards WrestleMania.
Yes, you do.
You have Bianca. And Rhea.
So you finally finish that storyline.
Yeah.
And you can tie it back into them two being the the final two, whenever Bianca beat Sasha the first time for the belt, like there's stuff that you can go back and hash on. Like I would like to see them to go at that at Mania. But to circle back around to Dom real quick, I think he's finding his groove and he's getting his rhythm. And if he just continues to troll everybody the way he's been like Monday night, then I'm all here. I'm here for it. I'm absolutely.
As long as I don't have to see him wrestle, I'm okay.
Here we go. Look at that.
I wonder why I can't put this up. You get that text? Watching the show?
But it's absolutely, but it is absolutely true. And you guys don't watch Impact, so like me coming on and trying to explain it to you every week is just falling on deaf ears. What he said is absolutely 100% correct. It has been a tremendous storyline, and Donald, it's using a legend in the right way. Oh, that. Don't put that one up.
Nope.
But Dom, they're using a legend in the right way. They're booking it the right way, and making it more about the story than necessarily the legend wrestling in the ring, which is what you're supposed to do with a legend. Use the story, have the match, and then it's like, okay, everybody's happy. We had the match, and we can go home. Like this. It's been really good, and I can't wait to see where they go forward with it, because at the end of the day, is Bully Ray really going to do things the honorable right way, like he says, or is he just going to be the Bully Ray that he's been his entire career and take the shortcut and show his true colors again?
Take the shortcut.
I mean, we saw that whenever they were here and he came out and cut that concussion promo, everybody's thanking him and, wishing him all the best and everything else. And then he turned it into a big long con and, a big feud with Flip Gordon. Like it's what he's done his entire career. So they definitely got me hooked and invested in that.
Like I said last week, I'm glad that they're finally giving the champion some different people to fight. That's Bully Ray. I like it. That's Kazarian. So keep doing that.
All right.
2 quick questions for you, Steve. Or for everybody. Do you think FTR ever wins the AEW titles while they're carrying those other 3 titles? And your thoughts on WWE's working relationship with outside media like Busted Open, or if they're working with anybody else?
So the Busted Open thing is interesting because LaGreca has been very open and honest on his show throughout the years that while Vince was there, they would not book WWE guests. They whether they weren't allowed to have them on the air, they would be pigeonholed in what they could talk about and ask and everything else, and it just never worked. So,
and here he is. We have it on Saturday.
Him and Bully Ray were very open, and every single time saying, "Hey, you want to call us shills for all these other companies? No, we will have any guest on that wants to come on the show, regardless of promotion. We just can't get them to let us book the guests."
Yeah.
I think Hunter being in charge sees the landscape differently and realizes the platform that is Busted Open Radio. It's a huge platform, a ton of audience, regardless of promotion. They do a tremendous job on their weekly show each and every single day. And having him on, doing stuff before Halloween Havoc was great. I'm super happy for Dave and those guys. I listen to them weekly. So why not use the platforms that are available to you to get your product out there more and shed a different light? So I kind of see that working relationship as being a fresh coat of paint as far as WWE working with other outlets, not just relying on the machine itself, which is fine.
Let's see Gabby at WrestleMania.
You can see Gabby anywhere.
See Gabby in Pittsburgh for a Raw show.
So, yeah, with that, the FTR thing,
I don't see it happening.
I hate the fact that they've been the number 1 ranked tag team since April. They haven't gotten a title shot. They've wrestled Swerve in Our Glory, which great match. I want to see those two teams go at it again.
Mm-hmm.
And you have them lose, so Swerve in Our Glory gets another rematch against the Acclaim, even though it was a loss with shenanigans, so they weren't beat clean. But it's just the fact that, okay, well, now they're not the number one contenders. Where do you put them at now? Like, and Swerve kidnapped Daddy Ass last night.
That was a trick.
I didn't mind it. I got a feeling Billy Gunn, Daddy Ass, has something going on as far as, an injury or whatever the case may be, to where he's taking time off, and that was their way to write him off.
Contract expire, going back to WWE.
That's why they could do the DX thing for the 30th again.
See, get everybody involved now.
Yeah, I mean, the FTR thing is just it's head scratching whenever they're.
And I don't even like FTR, but I see it like
they're so over as baby faces with AEW now. You just not doing anything with them.
No, honestly, this should have been the time for FTR, because the Acclaimed aren't going to be long-term champs. No. So it's right. I think the time was right for FTR to move in.
They might lose a Swerve in Our Glory.
They might.
Do you guys think that the firm is going to be a useless group?
I think they're still with MJF.
Yeah, this may be MJF's long con to tie into the Bully Ray aspect.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I thought on Wednesday night. Whenever the beatdown was going on, I was like, they're just going to be there for him at full gear.
I just saw a still picture with him going through the table, and I was like, okay.
There was nothing that I believed that was legit.
All work.
Yeah.
Like the whole company.
I mean, we'll see. Obviously, this is going to lead to Moxley and MJF as a tag team against probably Lee Moriarty and Ethan Page, and then can they coexist story?
So is Vince running shit there now?
Like Tony. The can they coexist storyline, and then we're gonna have championship contender matches where if you beat the champion, you get a title shot. We'll see.
To quote Randy Orton, stupid.
All right, we've gone long here. Let's get into debate this, because we got our. So debate this week. Obviously, PWI Women's Top 150 came out. We have the top 10 here listed for you guys.
A lot of stardom on this list.
Yeah, if you go back 2 years, like Jay sent over in the group text, it was dominated by WWE, obviously, for obvious reasons, right? But now when you look at it, there's a lot of representation across the board from other promotions.
I like it.
Bothers me a little. Thunder.
Now go back to their criteria. Let's be very clear on the criteria before we get into it.
This is October through November, or October through September. So even for Taya Valkyrie, technically last year from October to November she was part of NXT, but I didn't put NXT on.
So we have it's in-ring achievement. Yep, October 1st to September 15th. So October 1st, 2021 to September 15th, 2022. It's based on in-ring achievement, influence on the sport or promotion, technical ability, quality / breadth of competition, and activity, with some asterisks next to it. First off, you can't put asterisks next to your criteria. It's either criteria or it's not criteria. So if you're going to have activity as a criteria, there's no asterisks next to it.
Not a lot in there, Dave. Not a lot.
No, that's why I'm surprised she was up there.
I mean, there's 3 people on this list that I don't follow, so I can't sit there and say, if they're justified where they're at or not.
The biggest one, or the most talked about one for obvious reasons online this week after this came out, was Jade at number 5.
I'm fine where she's at. I just put Thunder Rosa behind her.
Yes, I agree. I think Jade did more for the women's division than Thunder did.
Jade's had a good run. I mean, is her in-ring talent justified for her spot? No. But for actually making that title and things interesting, I don't know if she'd be in my top 10, but I can see an argument at least for her.
I think she should be the top AEW woman on the list.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going as.
And the fact that Mandy Rose is in top 10 is ridiculous.
Mandy Rose is at 21.
No.
With her run in NXT, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that could maybe go. Well, see, you can't even knock the quality of competition because it's not like she hasn't wrestled a bunch of nobodies in NXT.
No. In the past few months, it's picked up a lot more with the quality of her opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think Tasha Steele should be higher than 11 based off of what she's done in Impact. And that Impact Knockouts division is stacked. So it's not like the quality of competition is hurting her.
Was Tasha Knockouts champ in that period?
So she won the belt she would have won the belt at what? Slammiversary in July, I think. She would have had it the last couple months of the criteria period.
Okay.
Okay.
So she had a good year in Impact.
Yeah, I mean she's at 11, but
Yeah. That might be interesting to go back and see where she's at next year.
Britt is at 13.
Britt shouldn't be in the top 10 because she just hadn't done a whole lot.
Well, she dropped the belt to Thunder, but I mean, if you look at her run, she was champ majority of the period.
Yeah, I always think calendar year, not there.
Like Thunder's run up to beating Britt, yes. Is it worthy of top 10? Yes. But after she won the belt, to me, that has negative connotations to it and should knock her down.
Oh yeah, Thunder for sure shouldn't. I don't know. I mean, she's qualified in the ring. There's nothing wrong with her in ring ability, but the whole title run was just awful.
You need to get in the ring to show those in ring abilities.
Yeah. Masha was in the top 25, wasn't she?
Masha was at 14.
Okay.
Which is solid for her. I got no complaints about that. Camille,
I think she has room to grow, so I think Masha could be in the top 10 at some point. But
Camille at 23 is a little low for me, just based off the fact that she's had the belt for so long in NWA. But I get it; the impact on the industry may not be as great as some of these other ones because NWA is not watched as much.
But the argument against that for me would be: is Stardom really watched more than NWA?
Well, yeah, and that's that. Yeah, I mean that's very valid. I'm not going to knock that argument.
I mean, if you're in Japan, you're probably watching Stardom consistently. But how many people in the U.S., are really watching that consistent?
I think there's one slight on this entire list. And this is not a slight on top 10, but I'm just talking about women overall that I saw whenever I saw it, looking at the entire list, I couldn't believe. Why is Serena Deeb at 77?
Wow.
You see Casey and Caden didn't even make the list.
77. Yeah, Serena Deeb at 77.
She had a lot of good matches in that.
She did.
In that year. She should definitely be ranked in the top 25.
That makes absolutely no sense.
And she was fighting for the title too. But one of the pay-per-views.
I mean, this isn't a knock against Ruby, but Ruby Soho's at 60. So you mean to tell me she's 17 spots higher than Serena?
No. Serena had better matches than Ruby.
And she was 11 last year.
Serena?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge
Wow,
drop.
that's a like. Whew.
That's
And
ridiculous.
she was on TV more this year and everything else.
Yeah.
Like that is the biggest slight and the biggest.
Is Aaliyah on the list? Because Ty brought her up.
Who?
She even
No,
on there?
she shouldn't be on the list.
No, she shouldn't be.
Yeah, and then Ruby, she got caught up in that whole Kingston Jericho fiasco.
Yeah. Which
Anybody in there shouldn't be. You know what
Agreed.
that is. Yeah.
that hurt her more than it helped her.
Yes.
Because
And
where's she
still-
been since then?
Yeah, they're still suffering from it now.
Yeah. And what? No, well, I'm not even gonna get into that right now. Is what's her name?
You know who's not on the list at all?
Who?
Not listed in the top 150. And I saw this name brought up. Nyla Rose is not listed at all.
I didn't even know she was on the roster until she came back and not on the roster. You know, I'm joking, but she
Didn't know
wasn't.
she was around. Yeah, because
She
they
wasn't
wasn't
around.
using her except for dark and stuff.
Is Tessa Blanchard on the list?
No.
Okay. I was just saying because she hasn't done anything, so it's like I just wanted to see if they just ranked her to ranked her.
Just by name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you next year's list. I'm interested to seeing any of the WoW women, if any of them are on there. With them getting some promotion, since they started after this list ended,
Mhm.
I'll be interested to see where they rank next year.
Ray
Yeah, I
Lane
don't
number one.
Keep that one to yourself, Ty.
Yeah, keep it.
yeah. It's just, I saw people bringing that up too, Ty, but like, the fact that she's not listed at all, there's 150, those were Deeb and Nyla were the two that immediately stood out to me as to,
Yeah,
one's
Deeb
not on
is-
the list
yeah.
at all and one's at 77.
Yeah. From being 11 last year, he said, Jason?
11 last year.
11?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let us know top 10, yay, nay, who you'd move around, who you'd put on, who you'd put off, and anybody that we may have left off this discussion of debate this week. With that being said, let's drink a beer.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, this week's drink of the week is brought to you by Cigar City Brewing. It is the Good Gourd Imperial Pumpkin Ale.
Little tight.
Little tight.
Little
Little
tight.
tight. Look at the sleeves.
Brewed with
Oh, did he wear it like that?
cinnamon, allspice, cloves, nutmeg, and vanilla.
Good gourd.
Smell it.
And it is 8.8%
I
alcohol
just
by
noticed
volume.
that.
So that'll be a
Ooh.
little,
Okay.
Little punch to the heart.
There's another beer of Cigar City that I think it's like an ale, but a dark ale, but really enjoyed some of their stuff that I've had before. Okay.
Ooh.
did
Man.
you just hit a hee? Is that what you just hit a
It's a little thick.
Pause. That's what he said.
Oh,
You know what? I'm not getting anything. I'm this is a pumpkin ale, but I don't get pumpkin.
Ooh. No,
I'm getting a little bit.
I'm getting cigars.
They dropped that ash in there.
Like a Vinnie Pie pizza. It's not. I'm gonna knock it because I don't get pumpkin. It seems like all these ingredients were thrown into a pot and none of them are standing out from a flavor standpoint. It's just there. So
The only thing I'm not really getting is the vanilla. Everything else I'm picking up on.
I'll go a 2.5.
1.
Oh, damn.
I'll go 0.5.
No.
Shit, this is going to be the most different list we've ever had.
You liked it?
I don't hate it. I mean, it's not going to be in my normal rotation, but for an 8.8, I'm not really getting a whole lot of burn, which surprised me.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I'm getting everything, like I said, but the vanilla, really. Unless that's just there to sweeten it up a little bit. But I might go 3.5 on this. I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I would from a pumpkin ale standpoint, I would not add it into my rotation of pumpkin ales.
No.
It's not.
We've had better.
So, but yeah, if you see this out and about, pick it up. Cigar Brewing. Let us know. Hit us up. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. I got nothing else really positive to go off of with that there. So. All right, this weekend sports. The divorce heard around the world. Tom Brady and Giselle called it quits after 13 years of marriage. So it goes back to the point of money can't buy happiness. Giselle's not even
just
in
don't
like
wear
my
that jacket, Jay.
I wouldn't rank Giselle in like my top 150. How about that?
No.
But
it's still worth a shot to shoot.
because you got that money.
She got the money.
Hey, Ty, I heard they were dressing up as footballs for Halloween, so he'll go trick or treating with them.
Damn, the hate's coming in.
I mean, look, I blame it on the divorce, blame it on being 45, this, that, and the other. He's just hasn't seemed like Tom Brady, so I don't. Whatever, the Bucks stink.
No, we should have stayed retired.
He should have. Yep, he should have.
Yeah, for what it's worth.
Only thing that does is make Ben the headliner for when he get inducted.
About it. He'll make some ruling. Tom going next year.
Tonight, Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. I'm surprised this fight did not get canceled. There was an emergency Arizona Athletic Commission meeting based off of statements that Anderson Silva said this week in an interview talking about how he was knocked out twice in sparring. He's 47 years old.
He need to quit.
He's been KO'd multiple times in the UFC. It's like Chuck Liddell. Once that chin goes, that chin goes.
That's it. Yep.
And for me, I'm not saying Jake Paul is the reason why boxing is shitting on itself, because don't blame Jake Paul. He's putting in the work. He's training. He's doing everything else. But
he's bringing more eyes.
Yeah, like
man, that's the bad part.
This fight should not be happening tonight.
No,
like it shouldn't.
What's it on tonight? Showtime?
I believe so. Yeah. I'm not spending my money on it. If Jake Paul knocks him out, I'm not going to be surprised. But again, it's Anderson Silva. He's 47 years old. Like, I don't know. Fight somebody.
This even happening?
Yeah, exactly.
His time is beyond time.
Outside of this stuff from this week, why is this match even happening? Period. Like, who booked this shit?
Jake Paul. I mean, he's a hell of a businessman. Him and his brother. I'm not going to knock either one of them from a business standpoint. You can think about them in whatever tone or setting you want to as a person, but fucking capitalism at its best, man. They're out there
this week and next weekend.
Yep. So yeah, I mean,
can't knock their hustle.
No.
Big time college slate in college football today. Big matchups. Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, and I think there's one other matchup I'm missing off the top of my head.
Penn State's in prime time tonight, aren't they?
Penn State's playing now.
Penn State's on now. Yeah. Michigan State, I think, is on tonight at prime time.
Okay.
But shout out to game day. Go into the SWAC, Jackson State this morning. Hey, you can't tell me prime Deion Sanders is,
Prime ain't swag.
Prime is SWAC. Prime is SWAC. Okay. You get game day there. I think the last time they've been to one other SWAC game, I believe, but it's the first time they've gone to an FCS game since North Dakota State, South Dakota State, like 2 years ago. And the fact that game day went to Jackson State for Jackson State versus Southern over Penn State, Ohio State.
Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. But the fact that, they chose to go to Jackson State versus Southern over Ohio State, Penn State, just goes to show you that Deion has
some pull.
What he's done, for the HBCUs.
Yeah. And just an update on the score: Ohio State's winning 10-0 end of the first quarter.
Penn State stinks. They gave James Franklin, who robbed who more? You have Jimbo Fisher, who robbed Texas A&M. He has a worse record than Kevin Sumlin, who they fired to hire Jimbo Fisher. Mel Tucker at Michigan State has been atrocious, and they gave him $94 million. James Franklin, Penn State, he can't beat a top 10 team to save his life. Or Russell Wilson doing his high knees in the airplane over to London, fleecing the Broncos for $245 million. Like, Russell, how?
Dude, I'd fight somebody.
Oh, I would too. I would too.
Now I see.
Plane ride
from hell.
Yo, now I see why Future was so upset when Sierra left him for Russell Wilson. You left me for the dude that's doing calisthenics on the airplane on the flight going over to London. And the internet is undefeated because the Russell Wilson memes on an airplane this week was tremendous. It was the highlight of my week. Sierra, let's ride. I see what you did there. You played on the Let's Ride song by Sierra and Russell Wilson's tagline for Broncos country. Well done, Dave. Well done. Just
when they put Russell Wilson's head on Russell Westbrook's head. They were like one and the same.
I just
team trying to get some sleep. This man do a jumper jack.
You get
knee lifts.
That just got me pissed off just thinking about it. Like, I'd get up and fight somebody. Roll on my neck and everything. I'd whoop no ass.
He's out there doing pull-ups, hanging from the overhead compartments.
I did not see a subway ad.
Yeah, it's bad.
The dangerous.
The dangerous. Yeah. What a freaking tool. Unbelievable. And he bagged Sierra. Like, that's the craziest part about it. It's like, whatever. Man, unreal. So yeah, just a fleece job of people getting money that shouldn't be paid, so to speak. World Series last night, hell of a opening game one for baseball. Like,
nice,
you want to talk about something that I flipped it on and I'm like, it's 5-0. What the hell? And then I kept getting updates on the SportsCenter app dinging off, and I'm like, oh shit, it's 5-5. They're about to go into extra innings. Phillies come back, take game one.
Who's playing? Phillies, Houston?
Yep, Phillies and Houston.
I love the baseball drama like that. Like, that's good TV. Baseball might not be good, but hell, I love it.
That would be a good championship game right there for that. The comeback like that.
Mm-hmm.
Does this wash away the beginning of the season?
No, hold on. I did not see the
No.
Wait, the singer botched the national anthem last night?
Who sang?
Yo, you can't be botching the national anthem at the World Series. Like, if you're Carl Lewis singing the national anthem, okay. If you're Rosie O'Donnell doing the seventh inning stretch, take me out to the ball game in Chicago, okay. But you can't be a professional and botch the national anthem.
Oh, okay. I saw people posting stuff about this dude, Eric Barton. Don't know who he is, but yeah, apparently he botched it.
I
So
never heard of him.
And if you're the Houston Astros, can you get anybody with a name besides Eric Burton? You might as well have just gone out on the street before
Hey,
the
my
first
man, can you
pitch.
sing?
Yeah, can you sing? Like,
Be like, Dusty Baker, could you do this for us?
Can you carry a tune? Somebody press play on the cassette.
he starts singing From Sea to Shining Sea.
but this is the first time in 50 years that the World Series is being played without an African American. I forgot all about Fergie.
Me too.
Oh boy, I blocked that out of my mind, Dave. Now you brought it back up. But no, this is the first time in I believe 50 years. I think the stat was that there's not an African American player in the World Series.
Wow.
Surprising.
And like when I started thinking about it, like when you go around the neighborhoods here, like
It was due.
one, there's no real like baseball little leagues no more around where we
When
grew
we
up.
played, yeah.
Mhm.
Everything is travel. Before you used to have like 15 teams,
Mhm.
and you know what I mean. Like it was nonstop, but everything's travel. It costs too much and everything else, and it's like becoming a sport where you don't want to say you're alienating the community, but you're alienating the community.
You are.
Like,
They still got Brandon or Bradley, but I think it only goes so far. I'm not even sure they have a little league.
that's what I mean. Like,
Yeah, that's terrible.
They had. I know they had T-ball for sure.
I don't see any kids go down the park by my house at all. So I don't
Yeah,
know if
they
they
have-
have any teams. And that's what me and Steve grew up where we started.
so yeah, I don't. You know, when you start,
Like all of our towns around us, every single town had a team.
Mm-hmm.
Every community. Mm-hmm.
Had
So
a league.
multiple.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so I don't. You know, I mean, it may be just like a one-off, but because of like who made it to the World Series, obviously. But the fact that neither one of those teams has an African American player on it doesn't like is mind-boggling.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
how does that work out? So, but yeah, hopefully the rest of the World Series plays out like it did last night because that was definitely
It was fun.
yeah. I'm curious to know what the ratings are for that game. The Lakers are 0-5. Kenny, LA Bums. Sorry, not sorry. Your team stinks. LeBron James might just retire and then come back to the league whenever Bronny gets drafted.
That's what people do.
So
And shout out to our high school for making the playoffs yesterday by
Yeah.
beating our rivals.
beating the rival
Knocking them out.
7-3, not in a very exciting game from a high school standpoint, but
Football?
Mm-hmm.
7th.
7-3.
7-3, yeah.
Winner in, loser out.
Winner in,
It's a
loser
baseball
out. Yep.
score.
So
Yeah.
so for Halloween, when I was a kid, I went trick or treating as a Wolverine, and I was going to dress up. I was going to put a jersey on because I still got one. But the one I grabbed was somebody who's like my sister's year, and like currently active on football. I'm like, currently active on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not putting that on. I'm like filming their jersey. I thought it was one of my brothers, you know, the big holes with the lacquered on paint.
With the lacquered on paint.
It wasn't that. Somehow somebody left one over my house from a sleepover my sister had. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting called out on Facebook for this.
That's the same year you bought that jacket.
And
Yeah.
you covered with the jokes.
All right. Anything else?
Out this jacket, man.
A couple of hockey things. Marc-Andre Fleury this week, he 6 all-time most goalie with games played at 944. So
Nice.
shout out to him. And then also another former Penguin, Phil Kessel. He has the most consecutive games for the NHL record at 990 right now.
Yeah, he's the AC Green of the NHL. And the Kyle Ripken of the NHL. So, I mean, that's a hell of an accomplishment for somebody that's overweight and eats hot dogs all the time, that he's played the most consecutive games.
Yeah.
And especially in hockey, too.
Right.
So, I mean, definitely could hit that 1,000 mark.
All right. Anything else? All right. One got to go. All right, now before you go ahead and bring up last week's poll, but I want to preference my choice this week before you bring it
Okay.
up, Chris.
All right, so last week Jason did Halloween family movies. The two most voted were Beetlejuice and Casper. What do you think people took off?
Beetlejuice.
Ended up being Casper. It was close, but Casper got voted off.
All right. So this week was my choice, and I came into the week. I was not doing a Halloween themed One Gotta Go,
Hey,
but then I figured if I put up a list of non-Halloween subjects, I would have caught flack from the rest of the panel here. So I caved and I sent a list over, and Chris texted me back like, "Thought you weren't doing Halloween." I was like, "This is exactly why I switched it up and did Halloween." So go ahead and pull it up, Chris. All right, so One Gotta Go this week. Worst couples Halloween costumes.
You alienate the three of us.
Hey, just because you're not married don't mean you can't dress in a couple's costume, okay?
Or judge the people that do.
Right. Or judge the people that do. But these right here, if you are with your significant other and you dress up as one of these four, we got a problem, okay? All right. So let's run through these here. You got the plug and socket, ball and chain, lock and key, ketchup and mustard. There was strong consideration for peanut butter and jelly, where one person is the peanut butter, the other person is the jelly. But I went to my wife for the elimination, and she decided to leave that one off and go with these four here. So, with that being said, which one of these four is the worst couple's Halloween costume?
I'll start. Ty, he's talking here that lock and key and plug and socket. Yeah, I mean,
well, yeah,
you can keep those. The worst one,
area. So
you got to vote off ketchup and mustard. That's horrible. Like
that's cute.
Oh no, Halloween's not supposed to be cute either. So if you're making me dress up looking like that, shit, hell no. Like we might have a reevaluation of our relationship. Could be why I'll never do a costume on Halloween. Yeah, ketchup and mustard for me can go.
Donald's both ketchup and mustard right
brother.
now.
The one that got to go for me is ball and chain. That just looks fucking stupid.
So you don't like the look of the costume or the idea behind the costume?
I don't like the idea. I don't like the look. All of these just all together are terrible.
I looked at the ball in that costume, and I immediately thought of on Super Mario Brothers.
Okay.
Black. This is exactly what I saw whenever I saw that costume there.
Yeah, ball and chain got to go for me.
But there's also a ball and chain like where it's like the guy's the prisoner too.
Yeah, this is a mace.
That one.
This doesn't make sense.
That's a
mace. That's giving me strong consideration to get kicked off. Ketchup and mustard is just too cute. It's classic. It's rom-comish. I like it. It's staying. Lock and key is tacky, but I think plug and socket is worse. Plug and socket got to go.
Jason wants to find the ketchup to his mustard.
Yeah. Too much around the junk area. Why does Halloween got to be sexualized?
Well, that's where I was going with it, Jay, because I would eliminate all four of these. Listen,
Ketchup
if I'm going out as I'm going out with my significant other for Halloween, I want you to be dressed up in something to where, one, we know what we're doing when we're getting home. Okay, that's first things first.
Oh, so you can be the Bunny Ranch guy. She can be Air Force Amy.
Two,
who's Air Force Amy?
Spice it up. Let's do a little role play. We can be anything this night. I'm ignoring all you guys right now. We can spice it up. Do a little role play. You can come with anything in the world. We're not going to be lock and key. Okay, it's not happening. It's boring as hell. And three, maybe wear something to where I get into a fight at the end of the night because some dude is trying to hit on you all night long. Like, you know what I mean? Like, make something to get me a little riled up. Like, I'm not all these costumes are just terrible ideas. They're horribly executed. None of them work. You know, I'd rather you see a woman wear a Coca-Cola shirt and me wear a Jack Daniel's shirt, and we can be as Jack and Coke. Like, that's more creative than better.
Yeah, that is creative.
Right? Like, I'm not doing any of these. Out of this list particularly, though, the ball and chain got to go.
Dave, if you want us to send you the link so we can have a therapy session, you're more than welcome to hop on.
We know some people.
Yeah.
We know somebody.
Harley Joker combo too. This shit is.
Oh, that's well overdone.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So stop glorifying it. This is all right. Take this down, Chris, real quick before we get into final thoughts. Question that I've seen going around this year with the success of the Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix. I see a lot of debate on whether or not you should be dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer for Halloween. Your take: acceptable costume or unacceptable costume?
You dress up as Jeffrey Dahmer, we're gonna have a talk.
Acceptable.
It's
Oh,
acceptable.
there you go, Ty. He's killing them off.
It is. It for me, it's acceptable because other people dressed up as dictators from back in the 1940s and all that stuff, and they think that was cute. So,
Now,
I mean, I'm sure it's been done before the Netflix documentary came out. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I know the reason why they were saying, no, this shouldn't be acceptable and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Trust me, if it was the other way around, people still will be doing it. So,
is it unacceptable if you're letting your child dress up as Jeffrey Dahmer?
yes.
Yeah, you're not cute, baby Jeffrey Dahmer.
yeah, you're not. Yeah,
Hey, that's cute on anybody.
yeah, you have parenting issues if you let that happen.
I mean, yeah, if your kid voluntarily wants to go as Jeffrey Dahmer without even knowing the show, you might need to have a talk with that child.
All right, final thoughts.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning to episode 109 of the Dumb Marks podcast. Make sure you head over on all our social media, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, all that, at Dumb Marks Pod. Like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell for notifications when we go live each week. I support the show by purchasing our merchandise at prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. And head over to dumbmarkspod.com for all the links and more. And, make sure you follow us. And if you go out for Halloween this Monday, be safe. Hope you guys have a good time. Hope everybody has good weather for it. I think it's going to be cold here, so.
Hey, Taekwon, he killed everybody, man. He dabbled in everything.
And Taekwon, I don't give a damn about our people.
Oh, shit. Oh, leave me out of this. I love my oh.
All right,
edit that out in post. Edit that out in post. I know we're live right now. We can't do nothing but edit that out.
I love my people. Quote of the week.
This dude just gave us. I'm not even going to say that. I'm going to drop G off the show. This is couple quick hits for me. Final thoughts. One, I brought up Ava Rain's debut this week. First fourth generation wrestler.
Yes.
It was actively talked about and discussed on TMZ. So, granted, it may be The Rock's daughter, but they were talking about it on TMZ.
I bet you she has a momager.
Oh, she said something.
New Japan put out. They have they announced their packages for New Japan for
Wrestle Kingdom.
Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom. Hotel accommodation, shopping experience, fan lunch, exclusive talk panel, Wrestle Kingdom tickets, New Year's Dash tickets, and a special historical experience. Packages start at $1,200.
Does that include air? I didn't hear. Does that include airfare?
That does include airfare.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
So, and then lastly, to leave you with a little Halloween trivia note, Hocus Pocus 2 set a Nielsen's weekly streaming ratings, drawing more than 2.7 billion minutes of streaming from September 26th to October 1st.
Guess
I
who
haven't watched
won't?
it yet. I'm going to do it this weekend.
This guy. Guess who won't? Same guy.
2.7
Safe guy.
billion streaming minutes.
That's got to happen.
And then two other things real quick. One, we talked about the Dahmer Netflix series success. Based off of that,
We don't need
their
that.
source from Netflix is they're producing an Aaron Hernandez limited series with John Bernthal playing Aaron Hernandez.
We know a guy who can play Aaron.
We do. And lastly, scientists at Stanford University reconstructed a 3D model of how Joseph, the husband of Mary, might have looked, and it was Andre the Giant.
Fake news.
And Mary looks just like Lady Gaga.
You gotta be fake.
Well, I say time travel.
Yeah.
I got two things, really one thing real quick. This week it was brought up that the NWA and GCW are both in partnership talks with WWE to possibly air on the WWE network. Billy Corgan talked about this in an interview, and he said nothing's progressed with it, but there have been talks. Not sure if it'll go anywhere. And yeah, GCW, I'm not too sure about if that's the right fit for it. NWA, I could see, but
It's not gonna be on Peacock anyway.
GCW on Disney Plus India.
yeah,
Gotta change that.
there's parental controls, but still.
I mean, if you already download down the ECW on there, what you gonna do about that?
It's gonna be that Tubi blood.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But all right. Anything else?
I think that's it that I got.
Nope. Yep. As always, tune in to the show each and every single week. Like Chris said, trick or treaters, if you're out, be safe. Parents with your kids, be safe. And,
That's no magic tricks.
Inspect that candy. Walk around with a beer or a mixed drink. That's okay. I do it all the time.
Take the Reese's.
I saw. So I've got my McDonald's Halloween bucket, the Happy Meal bucket, only because I saw adults are making bucket drinks with the Halloween bucket. I was like, that's utilizing them correctly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If there's a lush, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you see some older kids coming up to your door, just give them the candy.
Let them.
They could be out doing other dumb shit, especially with how crazy stuff has been lately. So just let them enjoy the moment, okay? It is what it is. You don't know what they're going through. That may be the only way they can get a meal, is to eat some chips and candy. So, all right. And Jesus. With that being said, this week's quote of the week says, "When you're happy, you enjoy the music, but when you're sad, you understand the lyrics." When you're happy, you enjoy the music, but when you're sad, you understand the lyrics.
Adele
said, thanks for tuning in this week's Halloween edition of the Dumb Marks Podcast. I'm Jake from Dumb Marks Pod. I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. And until next time, y'all can catch us around the way.